Hi, welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire Review, an airsoft gun review show brought to you by the people at pyramydair.com. I'm your host, Barry Goodband.
And I'm Nick Miller, and today we're going to be reviewing the Game Face Mayhem gas blowback.
Okay, so when you open the box, you're going to find the pistol itself and a 26-round double-stack magazine that also houses your CO2 powerlet.
You're also going to find a user's manual, as well as some Allen wrenches that are going to help you adjust your hop-up and insert your powerlet, as well as a spare cap for the bottom of your magazine. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice when you pull this gun out of the box is that the slide is made completely out of metal, and the lower frame or receiver is made out of plastic, and that's to help save weight.
Absolutely. But you'll notice that this magazine is pretty hefty. It's all made of metal, and once this is slidden up into the gun, the weight kind of balances out, and it feels pretty good.
Yeah. Alright, so you'll notice that the slide lock here and the slide are fully functional, and a nice feature about most gas blowback guns is that when you lock back the slide, the chamber is open, so you can see in there to see if there's any BBs present.
Or any kind of obstruction or something like that that's going to cause a malfunction.
Yep, exactly. And you'll also notice here on the top of the gun, we've got standard sights. We have a single notch in the back and then the blade in the front.
I kind of like the sights on this gun. They're low profile, they're built right into the slide, so they're not going to move or fall off on you. And as I said, they're low profile, so when you're taking the gun out of the holster to present the gun, it's not going to catch or hang up on you in any way.
Yep. And then you'll notice here, continuing on the left side, we've got our magazine catch and release. And then here on the bottom of the handle, we have our safety in kind of a unique position.
It is in a little bit of a unique position, but I think it's pretty functional. It's clearly marked here. Up is in the firing position, and down like this is in safety.
All right, so now that we've pretty much covered everything, I'm going to take this gun apart and show you how to clean and maintain it. All right, so to break down this gun, it's a very simple process. The first thing you're going to want to do is remove the magazine, which we have. Keep it on safe, and you're going to notice that there are two little notches here, one on this side and an identical one on the other side, and all you're going to have to do is pull down on those. You're going to want to invert the gun, because there's a couple parts in there that you don't want to lose. Pull down on those notches, pull the slide back, and run it forward off the rails with the lower receiver, which you can then set aside. And here's that recoil rod and recoil spring that I was talking about, that if you had it turned over the other way, it would just fall out.
Yeah, that recoil rod and spring in there does kind of just free float, so you do want to make sure that you keep the gun inverted, especially if you've got to take it down in the field. So if you drop that spring and rod in the dirt, then you're going to have extra time on your hands cleaning it out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now that we've got it pretty much broken down, you can see that we have the inner and outer barrel assembly, the hop-up assembly, and the blowback chamber. Now to adjust the hop-up, all you have to do is take the smaller Allen wrench that's included with your gun, insert it into the grub screw there in the hop-up assembly, and that'll allow you to adjust the hop-up to your liking.
Also, with the care and maintenance on these gas blowback pieces, guys, if you're going to be using them in any way, whether you're taking target practice or using them in the field, at the end of the day, when you get it home, just go ahead and break it down, brush it out, and add a little bit of silicone lube, and that's going to improve the performance of your gun. Just make sure you don't over-oil it, because that's going to make your action sluggish, and you're going to get diminished performance. Okay, so now we got the gun put back together. I'm going to show you how to insert a CO2 powerlet. It's pretty easy. You're just going to take your large Allen wrench, unscrew your cap, set your wrench in your cap side. You're going to take a new CO2 powerlet and you're going to insert it, the pointy end down, replace your cap.
And you're just going to want to get this thing finger tight at first, because then you're going to take your wrench and tighten it a little bit more.
Yep, you want to get it down there so when you're just starting to feel it make some contact against the powerlet, and then turn your wrench over and put the shorter end in, and then give it a once hard crank down, and that's going to allow it to quickly seat against the sealing O-ring, so you're not going to get any of the CO2 leaking out around the sides and diminishing the power of the gun.
Exactly. All right, so now that we have everything pretty much covered, why don't we head on over to the range and see how it performs?
Let's do that.
There you go.
All right, we got the range set up here, and we're going to put the Game Face Mayhem on the chronograph and see what we get for stats out of it.
All right, sounds good. Now, we've already got our magazine loaded up with a powerlet and 0.2 gram BBs. All right, magazine, cock it. All right.
341, 341, 344, 321, 321.
All right, well, I got to say that's really
pretty consistent. Absolutely.
Yeah. Over that 300 mark, nice and powerful with the CO2. I like it.
Good crisp blowback on that, too.
Yeah, it is. It felt good. All right, Barry, why don't you go ahead and show us how accurate this gun is?
Be my pleasure.
All right.
Not bad. A little bit to the left, but it's 30 feet. They're all on the target.
You know, it's a man-sized target, Barry.
Absolutely.
You would have gotten a kill on that one. That's not bad. I like it. All right, so why don't we head back and give our final thoughts?
Let's do that. All right, Nick, why don't you give us your final thoughts on the Mayhem gas blowback?
All right, Barry. Well, the thing I liked most about it is how simple it was to operate. It's a very simple gun. You know, there's not a whole lot of switches and knobs and things you got to flip around. And for its price tag, it's a great value. You know, as an experienced player, you could have it as an emergency backup, or even as an entry-level player, you could use it to help get yourself into the gas blowback game for, you know, a sidearm. I think it's a great value all around.
Excellent. I thought, I agree with you, but where it was at for me was the reliability and the power of the CO2 powerlet. We play up here in the Northeast, up here in upstate New York, and it gets cold for half the year. And CO2, in general, does a little bit better than green gas or propane in these cold environments. It's a little bit more reliable. And to top it off, you can get CO2 powerlets just about at any sporting goods store. So the power source is also readily available. And I definitely agree with you that the simplicity is the name of the game on this piece. It's shot very, very nicely, crisp, clean blowback. And it was a lot of fun to shoot. So that's all the time we've got for the Game Face Mayhem Gas Blowback. Keep your eyes open because we'll be back in the near future with another gun from pyramydair.com. But until then, I'm your host, Barry Goodband.
And I'm Nick Miller. And remember, if you've got any questions at all, feel free to email us at rapidfirereview@pyramydair.com.
And one more thing before we go, guys. Always remember that airsoft guns are realistic copies of actual firearms. So always shoot safely, act responsibly, and we'll see you guys on the field.
Do not remove the federally required orange marking from your gun. Treat airsoft guns the same as firearms. Assume a gun is loaded, even if you know it's unloaded. Never shoot at someone who isn't wearing proper eye protection. Never brandish your gun in public, and always transport it in a case. Do not point an airsoft gun at anyone as a joke. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Do not use airsoft guns to shoot at, discipline, or injure animals. Know the laws regarding airsoft guns and their use.